The socialist from the Bronx, who's actually from Westchester, has big ideas in her Green New Deal. From banning airplanes to meat.
Wait, that's where Pete draws the line. You can't ban meat.
No. We take you live to Missouri, where a farmer in front of cows
there he is.
Says there's no point of getting rid of cows just because sometimes they, he's live.
Other side of the cow flatulence story.
Next. Welcome back. Well, some far-left Democrats have a serious problem with America's cows. The concerns highlighted in the so-called progressive Green New Deal rolled out this week.
The lawmakers explaining in relation to greenhouse gases, quote, "We set a goal to get to net zero rather than zero emissions in 10 years because we aren't sure that we'll be able to fully get rid of emissions from cows and airplanes that fast."
Get rid of cows. We have a farmer here to respond. He's not just a farmer, though. John Anderson is the general farm manager and associate professor of agriculture at the College of the Ozarks. Professor John, thank you so much for being here. I've been to that very barn at the College of the Ozarks where your students work hard so they don't have student debt and they take care of those cows. But now cows are the bad guy, Professor. Are they?
Of course, cows are not the bad guy. We love our cows. Do cows occasionally emit methane? They do, but cows fill a really important ecological niche for us, and they're an important part of our food production system, an important part of our ag economy. We certainly don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater on this.
I'm wondering, John, though, is there a way? What about advocates who say, you know what, maybe we need to address this because they are contributing in large part toward greenhouse gases? Is there a way, I'm wondering from your perspective as a farmer, to temper it, to give them a supplement, to give them a probiotic? I know Pete thinks I'm being funny, but if there is a way to make it better, is that something we should be looking into?
Well, there are a lot of people looking into that. There's a lot of research going on right now to look at ways to reduce the methane emissions from cows. And you got to understand, this is a normal part of a cow's digestive system. This is part of what makes cows so valuable, is that they can eat things that other animals can't eat and be productive. But we should look for ways to minimize the impact that they have, and we do that. We've been doing that for generations, and we've made tremendous progress. I have no doubt we'll continue to make tremendous progress in that.
Well, okay, so but Americans like milk, and we like cheese, and we like all the other things that come from cows.
We like the cows themselves.
The cows
Absolutely.
are fine too, but the byproducts are the most important part. But what is the mindset that someone would write on a piece of paper, airplanes and cows, if we can get rid of that whole thing in 10 years? Where comes that kind of delusion?
Well, it is a pretty far-fetched idea. I don't think there's any doubt about that. I think it's a case of misplaced priorities, I think. We are prioritizing a particular view of what makes sense environmentally, and I think that's debatable over the needs of our fellow people.
Isn't it part of, though, couldn't you think it's part of maybe just the larger green movement? Many people want to reduce our meat consumption, reduce our dairy consumption, turn us over to a plant-based diet. So is there a larger agenda here in terms of trying to get people to not want to eat meat and not want to contribute to this and kind of persuade their behavior with documents like this?
Well, I think that's a big part of the concern. I think the concern that most conservatives have about climate change is that it has become a much broader political agenda. Look,
yes.
We're all in favor of good stewardship. We're all in favor of taking care of the environment. We're all in favor of adequately feeding our population. But climate change has become kind of a condensed symbol of lots and lots of things that go way beyond that, and we're very concerned about that. And yeah, I think that's where that mindset comes from. So
John,
let's get back to a focus on priorities.
John, how are you able to breathe with all that flatulent methane in that building?
So bad.
You know, it smells like roses in here as far as I'm concerned.
John, we love it. I love the College of the Ozarks. There we go. Then they're sounding off as well for us this morning. A great institution helping to raise the next generation. College of the Ozarks. John Anderson, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, John.
And feed those cows for us.
I love those cows.
We appreciate you. Appreciate you having us.
Appreciate it.
We'll do it.
Good stuff.